Outlaw Radio is in the building. Oh my goodness. Official like a referee whistle on a Wednesday night for another episode of the Warrior Report. Welcome to the show. It's your boy, the world-class smartass. I'm in the building. Trying to get everything together technically. So if you see my big ass all up in the camera, it is what it is. It's live. Like I said, it's the Warrior Report, soul food. So if you're tuning in, share the live, let people know it's going down. Real Negro Talk, the Warrior Report. We talk about black wellness on this show. It's one of the things that we discuss most on the show. Black wellness for black men. But I'm in here with my boy tonight, star of the show, if you will.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Brother Bull?
I'll be the star if you want me to be the star, but I beg to differ. They were both stars in here. You know what I'm saying? We reflections of each other.
Okay.
That's how it works. We all reflections.
That's good energy to start the show with. It's so much going on. I have to, even before we even do the show, I have to acknowledge the passing of the 3-year-old little sister. I believe Brooklyn was her first name. She was murdered. An alleged road rage incident, but we know it was not just road rage. It was something deeper. It's a sickness, and it's a sick community. When a 3-year-old is just riding home, and somebody just pissed off, just bust into a car like haphazardly, no respect for life. So I have to say, we have to pause for that. Say rest in peace to baby girl and my boy Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, one of the greatest boxers of all times. If you're not a fan of the sweet science, such as I, maybe you're not aware of Sweet Pea. 5-time world champion Pernell Whitaker was one, just Floyd before Floyd was, right? You feel me? So he passed this week. He was hit by a car, ironically. All them years dodging fits, he got hit by a car. It's not funny. That's not funny. But rest in peace to him too. Let me know if y'all got somebody y'all lost this week and you want to say, hey man, what a shame. We're always open to that. If not, let us know what you think about the conversation. Soul food on a couple of different levels, because we discussed what we eat and I talk about black people saying there's a need for a revolution. Well, where does the revolution start at? It would have to start internally before it can be external, right? So I say the real revolutionaries are those who are telling you a different way to sustain yourself than what you've learned via tradition, i.e. pork, beef, all kinds of processed food, which if you're looking at the camera, you see I'm no stranger to that either. So the show is more often than not a learning experience for all of us, right? Like I'm on the show doing a wellness show with a tall cup of beer. The irony, right? What an oxymoron. Sips beer and puts it down slowly. But welcome to the show, man. Brother Bull, we're going to have a good time tonight because I know you love talking about sustenance and surviving and all these kinds of different topics, man. Tell these people about your podcast that you do.
Oh, yeah, I got another podcast that I do. It's on WNOV. It's called Talk That Talk. I go live on Facebook on my page, Kamar Carter, or also go live in my health group, Healthy Self Heal Thyself. You can catch us every other Monday, the first and third Mondays of the month at 5:30. Y'all come on, add me on your Facebook page, add yourself into the Healthy Self Heal Thyself group. We got a lot of good things coming up. I'm planning on bringing this group to life.
And we push the herbs heavy on here, not them herbs. These herbs that like to detoxify. We'll talk about that. This is the vitality capsules, which we'll talk about. These are the liver cleanse. So it's all kinds of ways.
And fibroid buster.
Right, fibroid buster.
I use the same herbs. I mean,
straighten that for you.
All right, I use the same herbs that you use to clean your liver.
Right.
That will also bust down fibroids. It'll also clean your blood.
Right.
So this is a very powerful supplement right here that I have.
And we're going to get gangster tomorrow night, because Outlaw Radio is still on a Thursday night and a Saturday night. Well, the Warrior Report is a little bit different with me and my brother. Sometimes you'll see Brother Talk to Teach, shout out to him, Sometimes you'll see him step in and do it. It's just, the People's Network is a family. That's why I say I got the People's News Network on Facebook. Join that group. And then the People's Network on YouTube. Subscribe to the page. We could use the support, right? So it goes, man. It's cross training. Everybody's on everybody's song. I feel like I'm Marley Marl, right? And I got a bunch of different rappers. But I just got to do the symphony.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So stick with us, man. If you got something to say, if you want to come on, please come on. Shout out to Nosha. She said, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that.
Peace.
Shout out to anybody who's showing us love. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. But I was talking about soul food, not like, you see me, I'm a big cornbread fed. You understand me? My mother, a southern woman who grew up, you gave the family what you could, so everybody would be full.
Better yet, it was what we knew.
Right.
It was what was known.
And it's now a delicacy, but it's the worst food that you could. You think about the fact that our people are so genius that they figured out a way to eat everything from the pig, from the feet up.
From the rooter to the tutor.
People buy pig feet now. Right.
From the rooter to the tutor.
We don't waste nothing around this motherfucker, right? Even the skin became cracklings.
Right.
Right. So it's like our people traditionally showed us you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta pick cotton from sun up to sundown. We do what we gotta do. You survive. So this becomes our diet. And this diet, you see the signs early on because everybody got a big mama.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Mama was sick when she was old. Like you had to be quiet when you shh. Big Mama diabetes acting up.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be in the bed like, I'm gonna love you forever. And then she gone.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Big Mama got her name because she was usually huge.
And then what's even worse, after Big Mama's funeral, everybody go back and eat the same shit.
Right, repass.
That killed Big Mama.
It's called a repass.
Right.
Let's all recreate passing away.
Let's redo it.
So traditionally, Black people, Black people are creatures of habit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this is why the culture of dysfunction is so great. We're creatures of habit. So certain things that appear to be cultural norms, which aren't, we grab onto them and we say, no, this is what I'm doing from now on. You don't care how fucking morally corrupt it is or whatever. It's just like jumping in the crack game back in the days. I don't care who you are. You can brag on how much money you had or whatever you did, but you played a part in bringing destruction into the community.
Right.
And you fucked up a lot of people. And who knows what little kid was at home dealing with your main customer. You didn't give a shit. She brought his video game, whatever. Imagine being that little dude. So now I'm going to turn around and make a song about it and you're going to glorify it. Stop. That don't even make sense, right? So soul food wise, like I think we need to just look at the food and say, if we was wrong about that, what else have we been wrong about as a people?
Mm-hmm.
If you see, because that situation created that.
Right.
It gave us a certain understanding, but the understanding was based on wrong.
Right.
So yeah, years later, who has hypertension? Who has high blood pressure?
Yeah, I mean,
who's obese?
Look around the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The most overweight, the sickest group of people on earth, you know what I mean, is us right here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's because we're
Black people like me.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? It's because we're not eating under the correct diet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We're not eating like we're supposed to be eating, and then the food that may have been all right years ago, you know what I mean? For one, we didn't eat that much meat as much as we eat now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Years ago, it was more vegetable. Like at least Big Mama did include vegetables.
And she cooked the piece of fat back in it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Greens, right?
You know what I'm saying? But it was more vegetables, and you know what I'm
with
saying?
With a fat ass couple neck bones.
And then the fruit, the vegetables, all that stuff, it wasn't so contaminated.
No, right.
Pesticides.
Right. Big Mama pick her own shit.
You know?
She go pick her own fruit. I got these apples from a guy over there.
Yeah.
She in there cooking jelly for 2 days. That's another thing. I think that those sisters, like my mother, it was unhealthy, but I think they made it and it was able to nourish their families. They didn't go overboard with it. Like now you experience the bastardization of it in which they've taken it out of our hands because you think about the Black community. Who sells the most fried fish and fried chicken in the Black community? An Arab.
Right.
What the fuck? Do that shit even make any? Who knows what they using on this bird? And I eat it too. You know, back in the days when they first was in the gas station selling it, we used to call it Al Qaeda bird. You know what I'm saying? Brother be like, man, I got some of that Bin Laden, man. I was high as hell. I stopped by the gas station.
Man, look.
And you go in there, man, that's just you go, look, you cover the potato wedges. Man, you know.
Right.
So he's, man, what you eat, man? Some Al Qaeda bird. Now, who knows where them chickens even came from?
Right.
Right? So I'm saying, you think about our habits, man. Fast food is that for us. Them commercials for us.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, Arby's was selling a pork belly sandwich.
Yeah, I remember that.
I said, what? We dead. We all dead.
Right.
And it's there because you at work. I'm in between meetings. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to groove. Damn, it's lunchtime. Shit, I'm hungry as hell. Well, let me grab a sandwich. Even if you call yourself eating healthy, I'm going to get a grilled chicken breast. That shit is packed, shipped, and preserved in salt. And then salt is added. And they put a salty-ass bun and some salty-ass mayo and some salty-ass cheese on it. And you like, I'm healthy.
Right.
No, you're not. You might as well get a Whopper.
Right. Yeah. Or you know what I'm saying? Also, you know, we like to think about you know, we talking about health. We think just because we exercise a lot, you know what I'm saying, and go lift weights and everything, you know what I'm saying, we good. Well, that's just like putting new paint on a car and not working on the engine. You know what I'm saying? We've been eating all this foods or it's like driving your car with bad oil in it, dirty oil. You know what I'm saying? We walking around with toxins in our body, dirty blood, same thing.
Dirty blood.
Dirty blood.
What does dirty blood have in it?
Cholesterol, all kind of toxins, whatever kind of toxins, the different toxins that we eat. I mean, that stuff's in our blood, man. It gets in our blood and it's getting to all the organs also.
So in addition to all the stuff, the plasma and all this, I don't want to get scientific, but in addition to all the stuff that's supposed to be in your blood, you saying because of the food we eat, there's a level of toxicity to our blood. Like you could actually be able to analyze some blood and say, these are all toxins. Put these over here.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you know, you could tell the difference from a meat eater and a vegan's blood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You go to the doctor. I remember I was working with somebody and, you know, that's how she ate. All she ate was all fast food, burgers, cheeseburgers, and all that type of stuff.
Right.
She went to the doctor for him to draw blood and the doctor was like, this is terrible. Like, and he showed her, she said she could see how it was bad. Like, it was clumpy, and, you know what I'm saying? And kind of milky. And, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't right.
Should we trust doctors?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. The disclaimer is this. You know what I'm saying? I'll never tell you to not go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? What I do, I like the doctors, actually. Right. I'm going to tell you like this. Doctors can catch whatever's wrong with you. They can diagnose that for you. And from there, you know what I'm saying, you can do your own research and figure out your own means of how you want to handle it after the doctor diagnoses it. Because a lot of the time stuff be wrong with it, but we don't know what's wrong with it. But the doctor can tell us that. Or you can have a lot of acute situations where immediate surgery might be needed for something. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just go and drink some herbs and take some supplements, you know what I'm saying, and think you fit to heal, but really, you know what I'm saying, you got an issue where you need surgery. So I don't discredit doctors. I think we need them also.
So what if we, since we, you know, we're so interested in dressing up what's on the outside, right? Like, because people, right now, there's a little bit more of an aggressive movement amongst people of color that I see, especially in our age group, that are trying to eat right. I see people all the time like putting tuna sandwiches and shit up on Facebook, like, oh, diet move and all this, you know. And I'm not here to try to even down nobody with their efforts and shit, but people are making a conscious effort now to say, damn, maybe I shouldn't be eating this. Because I know traditionally, even in my own household, I grew up on a lot of pork. Like, my mother cooked pork.
Mine too.
You know what I'm saying? And we ate that shit.
Mine too.
My wife is a little bit more steady about we don't do pork, right? Every now and then, if I raise enough hell, I might can get some bacon and eggs and shit. Like,
back then, the only time you would see a black family not eating pork, they would be Muslim or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? You would just take for granted that they Muslim. Yeah. I went a lot of years. Like, I stopped eating pork after I moved out my mother's house.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I went a lot of years when I was not just not eating pork. And a lot of people was asking, "Are you Muslim? Are you Muslim?" For some reason, this is some kind of misconception because you know what I'm saying. If a black person don't eat pork, he must be Muslim or something like that.
Yeah, because meat is because first of all, you was always taught that meat was healthy. Like red meat was good for you to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I don't think
As long as it's not fatty.
Nobody ever really talked about pork as big and healthy, but it was like the other white meat. Like it was like if you prepare it right and eat it in moderation.
Sugar coat.
Right.
Make it sound good.
Ain't the only way they sugar coat, boy. I'm talking about ham sandwich. So now, but even like now, and this is where people get confused because now they say eating eggs is bad, drinking milk is bad, eating cheese is bad, ice cream's bad. Like, and these are the things. Remember, anybody like me, ever talked about the food groups when you was in elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
They showed you these food groups, right? Whose biology was this based on? Because it'd be dairy, grains, vegetables, dairy. And it's like, no, they said, remember the commercials, milk does the body good.
That was the whole gimmick to be able to sell milk. You know what I'm saying? They start talking about it's good for you. Yeah, it's got calcium in it, but you need more than calcium. Whenever you get calcium, you need magnesium also. Magnesium works as a carrier for calcium.
So then you need milk of magnesium.
No,
Joke. Come on, man. You left it wide open for that one.
Right. So you know what I mean? If you just get calcium by itself, it's gonna pull from your bone density. And as you get older, it gets harder for your bones to heal. You may wind up with osteoporosis.
And this is a side effect of drinking milk.
Exactly, because it's pulling from your bone density.
Anybody else confused besides me? Give me some bread. Grains. No, don't eat that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a certain type of grain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can eat.
What kind of grains, like what kind of bread should I be eating? Because they say bread is the devil. I hear people on diets talk about bread is the devil. You can't eat. I eat a piece of meat. I didn't eat the bread though. And it was just 2 thin slices of bread.
Well, first of all, you want to make sure it don't have no high fructose corn syrup.
The bread, right? Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what you want to do first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And then I start looking for milk and eggs. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it ain't got none of that in it. A good bread that you could try and get into is spelt bread.
Spelt bread.
Spelt. Spelt. It's a different grain and it's actually good for you.
Okay, but how does it taste?
Well, it's thicker and heavier. You know what I'm saying? So, like, whenever I made sandwiches, I just had to make the sandwiches bigger.
Now, is this heavier, like eating a sandwich with cornbread on it? Just like, dude.
Well, no, it's not like quite
fuck this. I'm about to eat some regular bread. Fuck this bullshit.
But but yeah, I try to make sure there ain't no milk and eggs in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's made of some good grains.
Okay. But no, okay, so tell me what these good grains are, because I be in the store and I see multi-grain bread. And I'm like, millet.
Fargo, yeah.
So it's like weed. It got different names.
It's decent.
Like that's that good barley.
A lot of different grains. You know what I mean? A lot of time you find bread that has 7 ancient grains in it. You know what I'm saying? And those are some of the grains that I was talking about. You know what I mean?
Jewish bread?
And I like looking for that. No, it's not actually Jewish. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because I know they got kosher products. So I always like they eat kosher. I don't know what that means. So
I think they say it's a better grade.
Okay.
A better, you know what I'm saying? A better grade or a higher grade.
If you know what kosher means, let me know.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Tell us about what kosher means, y'all.
So kosher meat, right? Kosher hot dogs. Like that's just a Jewish hot dog company. That don't actually mean nothing.
Right.
But yeah, man. So when we start to talk about eating and really dealing with the fact that you're probably eating shit that's triggering hormonal reactions within your body and you reacting and getting salty, and then you mixing it up with a lot of other shit, weed and drink and pills and and then you add the water.
Yeah. And then also, you know what I'm saying? It's food that we eating. The food, the soul food that we call, or the food that we call soul food. It's not feeding our brains. It ain't nothing in it. You don't find nothing in it that's good for our brain. You know what I mean? We ain't feeding our brains. That's very important.
Okay.
You know?
And when you say feed your brain, what does that mean?
as far as the right minerals that your brain may need. Foods with the minerals, like you need magnesium. Your brain needs magnesium.
Okay.
You need amino acids. You know what I'm saying? So we got to eat foods like that, and ain't none of that in cheeseburgers and fries.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? You
I've been looking in the wrong places.
Ain't none of that. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, you may find some in the greens, but then if they cook down so much, you know what I'm saying? You kill it.
So they say greens, like eat kale and shit like that. Like
yeah, kale, all kind of greens.
I'm gonna
like
be honest with you.
all
I
green,
hate kale. I tried
all
kale.
green leafy things. You know what I mean? And amino acids, dig this. This is what you should be looking for instead of protein. You look for the amino acids. Your liver turns the amino acids into the proteins that your body needs.
Okay.
So that's also why you need to get this liver detox, this liver cleanser. You know, to make sure your liver work right.
Now, this ain't just for women?
It's $20. No, that's not just for women. That's for men and women. It works for both a liver cleanse, and it also buzzes down tumors, fibroids, and all that type of stuff. So it cleanses your blood also.
What's the number?
414-949-2122.
You got a whole medicine case out here, y'all.
Nature's Nature, Herbs and Supplements on Facebook.
Right.
Nature's Nature, Herbs and Supplements.
Yeah, man. You got to try to get right, man. I'm trying to get right. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think my thing is just behavior, because regardless of what we're eating, still a lot of shit doesn't make sense.
Well, you know, personally, I think what we eat have a lot to do with how we behave. Like I just said, we ain't feeding our brains. So if you ain't feeding your brain ain't getting the right nutrition, you could possibly be making a lot of the wrong decisions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it gets deep. Like you talk about this food. Like, man, listen, man, during slavery, they fucked us up by giving us this food. You know what I mean? It's good that we was innovative and learned how to work it out. Right. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think they knew what they was doing way back then.
Well, something has to be said, because
when they arrived in Africa, I'm sure they seen how we ate. They seen how we kicked it. So now we get here and we eating something completely different. They didn't bring the food back with us. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't have a bag of African wings on the boat.
No, we finna slaughter this pig or this cow or something and
I think we met the pig
and get in the guts and all that type shit.
I think we met the pig, and us and the pig looked at each other like, oh, it's on now. But something has to be said, because I see behavior in the community now that just absolutely makes no sense. Once again, like I was saying, if it's the food, then let's examine that. But
well, I think that's part of it.
It's part of it, okay? Because it's a whole mixed bag. And the problem is you get all these groups, and they're only focused on one thing. And there's no way that you can put them on a list of priorities, because unless they're number one, they got an issue with it. Mm-hmm. They don't understand. No, do that first. We'll be right here. Bring us in.
And not only that, this is one issue, like the food. That's one issue that a lot of people don't want to deal with too.
Right.
You know
well, I think with the food, the money is the thing. When it comes to food, the biggest thing is the money, because, and I'm gonna tell you this, you tend to eat better if you have some money. Because you have a little bit more control over what you eat. Mm-hmm. It's easier to put yourself on a schedule when you can go to somewhere and buy you some food, put it in you got a place to put it. This is my diet, as opposed to shit. First of all, I was just trying to get $10 to eat anyways today. Mm-hmm. Now that I got it, I'm so hungry. I'm going right there to Checkers and grab me two checker burgers.
I came to that same exact conclusion a few years ago. My daughter was in the hospital, right?
Okay.
I was out there with her, and you know what I'm saying? It's actually more than a few years, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I noticed was, or the conclusion I just came to is what you were saying. It's like a circle, right?
Right.
They fuck up the community, put us in poverty. Now they put this food here, this cheap shit, this shit that ain't no good for us. And you know what I'm saying? It's about the only thing we could get. A lot of us ain't got no cars, so we can't even get to the grocery store to get something halfway decent. We go to the corner store, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And getting this bullshit off these little old ass shelves and shit. It ain't no good for us. And this food is making us sick. So we go to the doctor. So it's also feeding the pharmaceutical demonstration. You did what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, big
and it all start off because we ain't got the money. And if we did have the money to do something about it, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what to do. We think this is the food that we eat because we program mentally already.
You know what? Right now, you are slicing the line of when I tell people about the 3 S's. There's sovereignty, there's solidarity, and there's separatism. So which one of those 3 do you actually pick? And I don't think we're ready for separatism. Right. I don't really think we're ready for sovereignty. I see solidarity as the only way to go. But we can't get it there because, look, I'm telling you, right now, fresh vegetables and like even to young parents, young Black millennials, like right now, they're like, you know, we don't eat pork. That's it. They'll say we don't eat pork.
Right. And I'm cutting down on my beef.
But you eat everything else. You get some of the fattest vegans in this country in Milwaukee right now. I know a lot of y'all are vegans, but some of y'all chubby too.
Yeah. And
I'm like, there's so many healthy vegans.
But
they put meat in the broccoli?
There's many reasons behind that.
What's some of those reasons?
One of them is because they eat a lot of starch. So we can call them starchitarians. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like they don't eat like the vegetables and fruits as they should. They still eating processed foods and all that. Now, like I told you, this bad food, it leave shit in your blood. You know what I mean? It leave toxins in your blood. And it leave the toxins that's in your blood, or you eating the shit and the toxins, also toxins going into your fat cells. You know what I mean? Now, if you ain't drinking enough water, your body ain't gonna burn the fat cells. So now you just gaining more fat cells still because you ain't drinking enough water. You ain't eating the right foods that you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So that's also like another little circle.
Okay. Well, you know, once again.
So I'm just saying, my bad, but that's just another reason why you see a lot of fat vegans. You know what I mean? They still
because it's starch.
They still eat.
So what's a starchy vegetable?
Rice. We would call a potato.
A potato is starch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potato. You know what I mean? Then you got stuff that's starchy like macaroni and cheese and the rices and all that type shit that we eat.
Rice has a lot of starch in it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The macaroni and cheese, the noodles, the pastas. You know what I mean?
And starch is fattening.
Now, when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? So now when you think about the pastas, there's also, you think about the grains that I was telling you. They make pastas out of different kind of grains. Like they also have a spelt noodle. They have spelt noodles. They have garbanzo bean noodles. Now these type of
garbanzo. Where do you shop at?
The chickpeas. I'll go to Woodman.
And they got garbanzo bean lasagna.
Yeah. They got them at Pick and Save. They got them everywhere.
I'm gonna look.
And that's you know, and it tripped me out. Like until I started hearing about it, I didn't know it was there either. Now I'm looking for it. You know what I mean? So it's different kinds of noodles that we can make. We could still eat spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? We use the right kind of noodles.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Put more vegetables in there, like instead of the meat. I mean, but you know what I mean? You can still have the spaghetti effect.
Hey, it's Wednesday night. It's the Warriors Report. We're talking about soul food, talking about the way we've been conditioned to eat a certain way, which was wrong. And now I think more Black people than ever are actually realizing that we may have to change our ways a little bit. Look, I love a burger and some fries as much as the next man, as you can tell. But I do realize you can't continue to ride on 87. Pretty soon you got to start putting 93 in your car if you want it to last, right?
Right.
You got to get your oil changed, man. You ain't did shit to that car since you bought it. So I'll be looking to go internal with the healing. Because, I'm one of those people, I believe heavily in the theory that a lot of Black people suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I believe we suffer heavily from PTSD. And one of the ways that a person who's been traumatized kind of appeases themselves is by eating.
Mm-hmm.
Whether like you say, well, I don't eat like that. I don't sit around eating no whole box of ho-hos. Maybe you don't. But sometimes you'll eat a foot long, $5 foot long.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to eat the Whopper. Or there's pizza at the house. You're going to get late at night. You come in, you get up, make me a sandwich. Shit.
Yeah.
So it's part of you because you're usually stressed. I was so stressed, I got blowed. Now I'm hungry. So now I'm coming home and I'm going to go get everything out the refrigerator and just put sauce all over everything.
Right.
That was Wednesday, in case y'all didn't know. I'm joking. But I'm saying, so we don't think about eating as like a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have to. We got to, though. We need to start thinking like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's also emotion.
Yeah, because I wonder what the dude, the brother who shot, I'm not even calling him a brother, I'm going to call him a savage. I wonder what the savage who shot the little baby sister, 3 years old, I wonder what he had eaten. Like if you could just give me a week And maybe that's a study we need to get involved in. Take a brother who just did that and somebody go in and say, let's just talk about what he ate. Everything he can remember eating for the 2 weeks prior to him committing this crime. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think you'll find an interesting pattern there. It was like, well, shit,
bunch of ramen noodles.
I hadn't ate, that day.
Bunch of ramen noodles.
Well, it might be some days in there where he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. Something happened because there was a short circuit. Because to jump out and pull out a pistol and just first of all, having a gun and just letting it loose haphazardly is kind of like a sociopathic type of situation. Like you got a psychological issue. But I think, like you said, I think food ties into it. Is your boy gone, man? Is your boy R. Kelly gone this time?
Shit, he should have been gone.
Okay.
Should have been gone.
20 tapes allegedly turned over. Got that man on the man. They charged that man with the man act.
Hey, like, check this out though. Whenever, even if somebody ain't guilty this time, and you got this long track record of doing shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you done something like this. You got this rep for this. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be locked up, I think.
Well, you know that, yeah. Well, I think he needs to be locked up is an understatement. Like, to look back, if any of these charges or any of this stuff that they say R. Kelly has done, any of it is true, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm sitting here saying I think most of this shit's true myself, right? But I'm saying if any of it is true, we looking at probably one of the most dangerous sexual predators who's existed in our society. Yeah. The fact that he's an R&B singer.
Because remember a long time ago, a list came out of a bunch of girls who he paid off. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, but this time they said
years ago.
They said 20 tapes.
And it was like 20 names.
Who has 20? Listen, goodbye, son. Listen, if you out there right now and you get caught up in the game and maybe you done sent a PP before, a penis pic. Yeah, maybe you got one.
That's predator behavior too.
Maybe you got one. I'm just going for the brothers who ain't perfect. Maybe you got one, right? You shouldn't have 20.
Right.
Because one is like, oh, I don't know, I don't know what she sent you.
I'm new to this shit.
Well, I don't know what
shit. Here.
Who knows what she sent you? I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah. Situations go down. Right. I'm just saying. But to have 20, so the sex tapes that the one that was bootlegging at the liquor store, right? Like, but this is a pattern. This dude has been doing this knowingly and willingly, and there's so many grown-ups along the way.
I was just gonna say,
just like, okay.
I was.
Can I get my check?
How about the parents, the grown-ups that was around him, the ones that knew about all this shit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody need to get looked at.
And see, I'm not, people say, well, the show was about wellness and what did you talk, but once again, soul, the word soul, like, what black people got soul, right? Like, so R. Kelly, soulful, got a lot of, and if I had $1, you know what I mean? When a woman's fed up, right. Soulful shit, right? But you ain't eating, well, we know what he eats. We seen that on the first tape. But I'm just saying, a person that and then traffic these women and do all these kinds of things that he's accused of. I don't know if he's done them, but there has to be some merit to it because most of it's consistent. Mm-hmm. And I don't think consistency usually breeds the truth. Like if something usually is consistent, it's usually true.
That was the point I was making.
Okay.
Like he had this long list years ago, 20 years ago or something.
Hey, we turned a deaf eye.
And that shit that's when he started coming out with I Believe I Could Fly.
Well, he
saw his way out of it. And back then I said that too. I said, man, this nigga singing
the craziest thing about R. Kelly is a lot of his songs he was saying to us, I am sick, I need help. Mm-hmm. This brother made a song called Feeling on Your Booty. Nobody tripped.
Right.
And he yodeled on it. It's like, really? This is my song for real. No, everybody said I was the shit. They were playing in the club.
Yeah.
And nobody paid attention. He had married Aaliyah at 14 in 1993. So, once again, our soul, man, soul, your soul is sick, man. You what they call a reprobated mind. Mm-hmm. Like your mind is you just detached now. Yeah. Because a lot of this shit is after you've been charged and beat. See, one thing about brothers from the street is If you beat the charges once, you ain't supposed to do that shit after that.
Now I wonder what happened during his childhood.
Well, when he made the song, I admit it.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, somebody touched him. That's what he said. Come on, son.
They did more than touching him. I mean,
hey man, even if a man knocked the stuffing out your egg McMuffin, it doesn't excuse you being a 30-year.
But I'm just saying, like that could be the root.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And he said he's illiterate and he can't read, so that's a burden. That's a cross to bear too, man. But I was speaking on that, and I was saying because R. Kelly is out here now, and then you got this Epstein character who's now a powerful ally to many powerful and rich white men, and he's screwing over youngsters and all this kind of bullshit. And we got Weinstein, and then Bill Cosby's locked up, and R. Kelly's arrested for the Mann Act. And a lot of my conspiracy conscious brothers are saying, "See, that's that bullshit. See, the white man free." Right. So I don't know. What's your answer to that? Like do you think that's because Weinstein's date is coming, Epstein's date is coming too, and he's already said he's gonna tell on some powerful people.
Well, I'm like them conscious brothers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's some bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker need to be locked up too. I mean, you got a history of fucking with women in the wrong kind of way.
Okay.
You shouldn't be out here. It shouldn't be no bail for that. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you get charged with that? Ain't no out.
They won't even give the Aura no bail. They tell him no.
Well, you shouldn't.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's time.
You shouldn't.
It's time
Weinstein shouldn't have had a bail either.
Right. Yeah, but they got friends.
His motherfucking ass need to be locked up too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And his friends doing the same exact shit. You know what I'm saying? In them high places.
Right. And here's R. Kelly. I don't know. The biggest. They say that there's a fine line between being a genius and being plumb loco. I heard DJ Quick say that one time. And if you look at R. Kelly musically, obviously he is a genius.
Oh yeah.
Unquestionably. And it's R. Kelly got the biggest pass and the longest pass from black people I've ever seen in my life.
Man.
To the point where there's still some brothers and sisters who be like, fuck
that. I'm listening to my R. Kelly. I'm listening. I like his music.
And like I said, man, we dealing with one of the he's turned out to be something else.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm on this with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care either or. If the song come on, I don't trip. It don't change my vibe or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but if Adolf Hitler had made slow songs back in the days, and even if you was that old, and you'd be like, but this was the jam by Adolf. People would get pissed off. I know the Holocaust of him.
But were we loving it? But were we loving it back then?
Well, it's a lot of German people say, no, y'all don't understand, because at one time Hitler was real popular.
Right.
It was before he said, "Nah, fuck this bullshit. I'm at y'all." Then everybody said, "Whoa, you tripping, Adolf." But before that, a lot of German people was like, "Oh, he was the Messiah."
Yeah.
So
I could dig it coming from them because it's them.
Well, yeah. Well, he took back Germany. That's a long story. That's a history show. We don't got to do that tonight. It's the Warrior Report, man. Soul Food talking about, usually your condition is based on what you're taking in, right? Like you're
taking in on all aspects.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What you taking in from people, what you taking in from your environment, what you taking in through your mouth. You know what I'm saying? All this makes a difference.
Right.
Another aspect of soul food is your soul. You know what I'm saying? How do you feed your soul? Well, you make yourself happy. You know what I mean? Whenever you somewhere and you got that uneasy feeling, I just don't like this. I don't like it. I just don't like it. That's your soul talking to you. That's the God within you telling you, like, well, maybe it's time to move around. Maybe it's time to go do this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to feed that.
Right.
Whatever makes your soul happy, like wherever you like to be, you know what I mean? Be there more often. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you like to do it more often. You know what I'm saying?
I keep thinking black people just got to find a resting spot.
Yeah.
I feel like if most brothers had some way that they could just actually sit down and blow it out a little bit more, they'd be better off. And brothers don't understand to keep it all I see, now the thing is tell black men to be more expressive and cry more. And then, no, that ain't it. That's not it.
Right.
Because black men don't need to be walking around crying about every goddamn.
Right.
Oh my
No,
God,
no,
I can't believe it.
Hey, now I do believe that black men need to talk to each other more. We need to talk more. We need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but mix me with that super emotional. See, you giving that.
Well, I ain't saying super emotional with each other like that.
Why, right? Because
You know
I don't know no brother that's that
I'm
open. Talking about, man, Kim, before we
I'm
go,
talking about
you know I love you, right?
Oh no,
Bro,
no,
bro,
man.
we ain't gotta
talking
do
about
that.
I'm talking about like, you know, how it's different things that goes on in our life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something that may be bothering us, something we got our mind on that
just fucking
you know
up.
what I mean? Yeah. So okay, well, I'm gonna talk to you. Maybe Kev got an answer. Let me see what Kev think about this.
Yeah.
We need to do this more often. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's your homie though.
Exactly.
That's your partner. That's your bro. That's who you go to.
But you know, we don't do that often either, because you know it's also that ego that's in the way too. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing bothering me. I'm good. I'm good. And you know what I mean? And there's too many of us out here like that.
You know what?
Like we good.
That's true.
We really ain't.
A bug just flew by. We got bugs and shit. And they fly, right? But no, I think, I don't know. I think one of the reasons why emotionally I think I'm a little bit more mature is because I've always had homies and cats that I could, and when something was bothering me, like, oh, this shit got me fucked up, bro. You know, if you don't got them kind of people in your life, and see, there's a requirement to be this kind of person. We talking about like feeding your soul, right? And that part of that is having somebody you can talk to. When you're doing that, there's certain things that this person should be doing. Number one is listening and not making it into they. So, man, see, I went through that. Hey, it ain't about you. It's about me.
Right.
I don't want to hear this ain't your turn, right? So you have to have friends that exhibit all these traits, and you don't never hear that shit nowhere else. You know, a brother might come in you in his weakest hour and say, man, I'm over here fucked up, man. You know, next day you go out, everybody, man, I heard you call, you can't laugh like, oh, you hoe ass nigga. That's what kind of nigga you is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you gotta have those people. Sometimes it's hard for people to, you know, to have those kind of people in their life. So I understand that. I understand how somebody can be lonely.
These days it's a lot different from when we came up. You know what I mean? We had a lot of people. We was closer back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now it's like cutthroat. Everybody against everybody. Everybody competing with everybody. Like the trust is gone. Like you
amongst brothers in the community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So it's
that
hard.
Money.
It's hard to talk to somebody
that
about
money
something
fucking
that's
all
going
up
on.
though. Hey, the money messes it all up because
you can't show no weakness.
Even street dudes that come up together, you get out there and you start out together, you get that money, and you do what you do. Pretty soon, like they say, there's no honor amongst thieves, right? But already you've invited the wrong kind of energy into your life. Y'all ain't building a business together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all cooperating on destruction.
Right.
So it's bound to go bad.
Right.
Right. You know, so
it's the energy.
Right. And those are the relationships that we manage to forge with each other. I do believe brothers who got somebody to lean on, because somebody's trying to hold it all. Yeah, man, I'm straight, man. He over there had a damn stroke because he didn't want you go over there and she started telling you, well, you know, he this and you like, well, he ain't told me none of this. So you gotta have one of your guys gotta be the one.
You know, that's stress, dude. That's added stress too. That's killing us. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The stress is bad for our soul.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Again, you know, you got something that's bothering you, something that's eating you up, that's eating at your soul.
Especially if it's something they keep saying we're traumatized. And I said that I do support the theory that Black people suffer from PTSD. And this is one of the things with these detoxes that my brother Bull brings on, Nature's Nature detoxes and Vitality and the Fibroid Buster, the Liver Cleaner. These kinds of things are a new investment in us. You know, it's us wholeheartedly rejecting Big Pharma and the medicine. And like that's why I said, can you trust the doctor? Because he's in bed with Big Pharma so much.
Right.
You know,
you could. I think you could trust. You can't really trust nothing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being real with that. You can't really trust nothing.
None of what you hear and half of what you see.
You could tell me, the doctor can tell me what he thinks and what's going on. You know what I mean? If something's wrong, they can diagnose that. And after that, like I say, I don't trust him exactly because I don't trust that the medicine he's going to give me is going to heal me. Because I mean, no medicine has ever healed anybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's be real on that note. So, you know what I mean? Okay, I can trust you enough to tell me what's wrong with me. Now I can go do my own research.
Yeah, because medicine just seemed like it's something that you have to keep coming back to see me about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not actually getting better. When things get worse, you just give me more different or higher doses of it. It's like, it's actually like a very contrived dope game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I judge your geek.
Yeah.
Like, I turn your geek up
bought
and
a
turn
book.
it down.
I bought a book from, I was at the Vegan Fest, at Rain Troops Vegan Fest last April, yeah. And I met a doctor, Dr. Bobby White, I believe his name was. But anyway, he had a book called Vegetation Over Education. And he was talking about how he had got in the field of started working in the pharmacy, passing out medicine, because he felt like doing that, he was doing something to help his community, right? That's what he was thinking. That's how his mind was set, you know? So he started working the job. He said he was there for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years or whatever. And he started noticing that the same people steady coming back. You know what I'm saying? Through all these years, ain't nobody, like, he was expecting people to stop coming.
Because they were taking the medicine.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But no, these people are steady coming.
That's not how it works.
So he's like, well, shit, I'm not really helping my people. You know what I'm saying? And so he started doing his own research. I think he said he was overweight. He had diabetes. He had a couple other issues, blood pressure and cholesterol. And, you know, he started eating cleaner. You know what I'm saying? And drinking herbs, taking up supplements and stuff like that. You know?
But I don't want the herb thing to become a hustle. You know, all of a sudden you got brothers just putting all kinds of dried up shit in jars saying, no, this will make you your shit bigger. Right. This right here is natural.
And that's
what they use in Africa.
Hey, look, and that's why I say trust nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even trust me still. I'll tell you what's in it. And you know what I mean?
Go research.
Do your research.
Because
so
I'm not gonna lie.
I want the people to learn about this stuff too.
Well, I've looked up all the ingredients and all of these on my own research and read the same effects that they have that you said is indeed what the information that's out there. Even the risks on some of it, like, you know, so it's validity to what you say with yours. But I would encourage anybody, I think when you go in the grocery store, and this is one thing that'll mess most of you up, go in the grocery store and read the labels. Like, go in Walmart to make grocery and read the labels. You're going to have two things in your cart. Because you're talking about high fructose corn syrup and all this kind of stuff, you know, that you talking about. People start looking at them labels and say, oh, shit, I ain't supposed to eat this. Oh, put that back. Your ass going to come out of there with some organic tomatoes that was sprayed by Monsanto insecticide. So that means you lose anyways. So I want to talk about, like, bad diets. Because people now, if there's always a trend. I'm from the Black community, so I'll go all the way back to the Dick Gregory Bahamas diet, where you're supposed to drink the juice and all that, right? So I see people like keto and Sebi, and everybody has these, you know, I'm vegan, I'm pescatarian now. People be like, well, I eat bread, I just don't eat bread crust. Like, what? Well, you in Subway making her peel the crust off your tongue.
It's different levels of consciousness to health.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. There's different levels of consciousness about health. You know what I'm saying? They're all different levels. Like, okay, you got the keto. They do it so they can lose weight, right? You know what I mean? Like, the way they eat, it boosts the metabolism or something like that, right?
Okay.
The problem with it is people still get high cholesterol, you know what I'm saying, behind this keto, because they're eating a lot of fats, a lot of the bad fats, you know. And the keto, it doesn't heal disease. You know, it causes disease over a long time. If you do that, okay, that's fine. Do it for a little while, lose your weight, you know what I'm saying? But then also you want to make sure you're getting the right nutrients in.
Right, okay. Because I have no idea what the keto diet is. I see many people on it, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Right.
So I don't. Then
you got stuff like the pescatarian diet, where they only eat fish.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So the next step there, you know what I'm saying, is vegan after pescatarian.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's different levels. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's all it is. It's just different levels to different diets.
And it's drawbacks to each one of them.
Well, yes, it is drawbacks to each one of them, because fish nowadays has a lot more mercury in it.
Yes.
Mercury goes to your brain. You know what I mean? You get Alzheimer's and all that type. You know what I mean? All that type of stuff.
Right.
from the mercury and the stuff getting in your brain. And herbs is another way that you cleanse that out of there. You know what I mean?
And then a lot of these fish that you buy out the store are farm raised, which is the worst environment to raise fish in, because it's inbreeding and they living in a tank, eating trash and garbage. The fish are stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they show the post like, do not eat what's the one? I used to never see it when we was young, when I tilapia. Like black people didn't eat tilapia when I was young.
Whoever saw a tilapia caught.
Well, you can get. I've seen tilapia. You can catch lake tilapia out the lake.
Since when?
I guess maybe they stocked the waters with it. Might have been fishing and caught. Like you like, oh, what is this? That's a tilapia. And it's like, okay, but he's not farm raised. You know, it's like farm raised catfish. I mean, I'm sorry, farm raised.
It wasn't no tilapia in the lakes. They made this fish. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had to make this, man, because it wasn't none. Years ago, me and my uncle used to go fishing all the time. Like,
yeah, I'm a fisherman still to this day.
And all the different lakes we went to, man, I mean, it was bass, it was bluegill, sunfish,
right, catfish, bullheads.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, on the lakes, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it wasn't never no tilapias.
No. Well, it depends. And I'm gonna tell you why it depends, because my father just fished. Like, he would catch all kinds of fish and just clean them all and fry them. You only knew when you was eating catfish. You'd be like, okay, well, that's a catfish. But all the rest of that shit he cleaned out that bucket, you don't know what the hell it was. So, and we used to fish at Nina Manassa right by the hospital. I'm sure the hospital was putting whatever they wanted in the water. So, you know, eating toxic fish, you know, right. You're talking about mercury and shit like that, right? So I'm just saying it's no safe ways to go unless you can guarantee the source of your food.
Right.
If I can say,
and then every so often, you know what I mean, a good thing to do is detox. You know what I'm saying? Like spirulina. Clean it out. Like spirulina is a good way to get the heavy metals up out you.
Spirulina.
Spirulina, yeah. I'll sell that in capsules also. I'll bring that soon.
Right. I'm pretty soon I'm gonna have a big ass
a whole line and shit.
Right. The People's Network.
But, you know, and that's one. This also. Let me just add also that my goal is to have our community knowing about herbs. So when something happens, you know what I mean, all these herbs, they're medicinal. So they all have different medicinal properties. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. You know, some work with your liver, the kidney, the pancreas, and all that type of stuff. So I want everybody to learn how these herbs work and everything, because see, this is something that they took from us during slavery. When they took us into slavery, it's something that they took from us. We knew how to take care of ourselves. We knew how to cleanse something. We knew how to tell when something was wrong with us. You know what I'm saying? So when we went in slavery, they pulled all that from us. We had no chance to get to the herbs like we used to. Okay. Then I fuck with it. And they also looked at people as witches. The women were witches. The women were our healers. You know what I'm saying? So they looked at them as witches. And this is where all the whole witch thing, I believe, came from. When they started killing our black women off, calling them witches.
And you have been, on this show, you've been a huge advocate of black women. I've heard you say more than one time and express your love and admiration for black women. And I echo that sentiment. But I've noticed that it's one of the things that you're passionate about, is that you love the sisters.
I love the sisters. I love y'all. Oh, I love y'all.
Calm down. You had to get somebody to wipe that microphone down, right? You got moist. Veggie juice, right?
Right.
But no, I mean, what do you think about Trump with his, people are saying, that this is kind of like a contrived, continuous, consistent assault and angst that Trump has had against black women, from reporters all the way up. But society-wide, there's some real attacks on black women. And some, and sisters are in situations where they say, y'all not even protecting us. Like, y'all not even standing up. Trump is out here, what did he tell the sister? Go back to where you came from. He said Africa is a shithole continent. There's all kinds of Trumpism that involves him really just getting at black people, period. But he seems that maybe he never got no black, maybe he just never had.
Well, I think we as a people, we need to learn how to just box out shit that we don't agree with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just block it out, put the blinders on,
right,
and then build ourselves up. motherfuckers gonna talk, they gonna try shit, they gonna throw their darts, they gonna do all they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But our thing is to keep our peace and keep our blinders on,
Right.
and build us up. But I will comment on it. I think he's an asshole for the shit that he doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, talk about different laws, abortion laws, and all this shit that's going on, man. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, we were blessed by the Creator with the free will. You know what I'm saying? Meaning we make decisions for ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a law. You know what I mean? This is a faculty in our spirit that deals with free will.
By choice, not by force.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't.
And like, so who do you think you are to take that from somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be so glad when this term is over, man. I'm just tired of hearing about Trump and all the antics, man. You know,
too much.
It's just too much. Every day you wake up in the morning, man, there's something else you could turn on where you're disrespecting somebody else.
He's just doing some dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
Right. And which is one of those things, man. People don't realize how affected they are by Trump. Brings so much attention to the country. Like, stress levels are through the roof now. Like, race relations are horrible. You really out in traffic now, especially as a brother, and there's police out here and there's all kinds of adversaries. Your alert level has to be on 1,000.
Right.
Like, you don't really know where it's coming from. So hell yeah, you get riled up. So I think now is a more important time than ever to invest in maybe some herbal shit. You know, that's why I'm totally
focus on ourselves. You know what I mean?
I support the legalization of marijuana, and I'm gonna tell you why I do. Because I believe marijuana is one of the most miraculous substances that this earth produces, and I say that because it has so many practical uses, from hemp all the way up to straight up roll a blunt on the corner, get high. Like, it's so much that they haven't given marijuana credit for because of the racial issue. If you think I'm making that up, what you need to do,
they'd rather lock us up.
Well, you got to look at why it's illegal, and then you have to know who Henry J. Anslinger is. You have to go back to the 30s and look at his crusade against marijuana with Reefer Madness, saying brothers, gonna go crazy and want to screw all the white women after they listen to some jazz. I'm not making this up. Like, you can go watch Reefer Madness. You can listen to George Anslinger talk. It's a straight racist, and his mission was just to go after people of color, and the United States government played into it, as they so often have over the years, i.e. Trump. You play right into the racist hand. Mm-hmm. This is why America is viewed as it is globally. This is why, we look at white people now and why are race relations bad, because there's so much speculation. We did a show a couple weeks back called Complicated. Race relations in this country are complicated. If you try to simplify them, you're an idiot, because they ain't simple.
Right.
They're complicated.
Yeah, it's deeply rooted. All this shit.
All this shit.
Rooted.
Deeply rooted.
Generation.
Right. and some of it's intentional, some of it's perception, some of it's accidental, some of it's coincidental, but it's all a thing. And when you say it's not, you become the newest fool.
Right.
I don't see color. Man, please. I love all people. Bro, all people don't like you, and I guarantee you everybody else, except for you, sees color. A brother told me one time he don't see color. I said, then what the hell do you do when you get to a stoplight? He still couldn't answer the question. Well, I stopped. Why? The light was red. I thought you didn't see color.
Right.
Come on, son. So yeah, I mean, Trump is, for wellness wise, we need to get Trump out of office. Like black people, because I think we can't totally relax and drink our herbal tea.
I'm gonna tell you though, like sometimes I feel like we may even needed Trump to be in office, because it's waking a lot of people up.
Right.
You did. It's waking a lot of people up. Like, they seeing the ugly side. They seeing how this shit look.
Right.
You got social media, and you know what I'm saying? They're spreading everything that he do. And yeah, a lot of people getting to see how it look. The consciousness is rising.
Yeah, I think it's more black people right now who we don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but I think right now there's more black people who say we need to do something. If we could just get them all to sit down in the same room and not go to tearing shit up, I think we'd be, better off. And that's why we have to have conversations, and that's why we have to have platforms, and that's why we have the People's Network. So we create situations where brothers can be player about it and sit down and talk about it, and nobody's getting their ass knocked off, depending on what they say. hopefully, I pray that will never happen on my show. I think I cut the lights out way before it happened, though, because I wouldn't want to disrespect the platform. It's hot though, so like now it's hot. Like, so what? When it's really hot like this, I know you drink a lot of water, but to be healthy, because I think you got to eat different in the winter and in the summer. Because in the winter, I think you got to eat so your body can keep itself heated.
When you eat heavier food, your body tends to get warmer because it has to work harder to break the food down.
Right. Okay.
When it gets real hot like this, you want to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Fruit is like antifreeze to a car to us.
Okay.
It's a coolant. It cools our body off. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a lot of water that's in the fruit. You got a lot of water that's in the salad. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you want to eat different. Eat lighter when it's hot. You will stay cool. Now, when you eat heavy and go out here in this heat,
sweating like a
man, you're gonna be hotter. You know what I'm saying? So you want to eat light when it's hot like this, and when it gets cold outside, then you eat heavy.
Okay. So we're in the middle of a heat wave. Finally, everybody complained about the weather. I'm never gonna get summer in this motherfucker.
I'm not.
Now it's like 190,000 degrees, and it's gonna be for the next few days. But you saying, eat light because when you eat healthy, like you said, puts more stress on the body, so that contributes to your overall unhealthiness, right? Mm-hmm. So like what's a light meal? So what's a light for dinner? Like, I ain't just snacking. I'm saying dinner, hot summer day. What do I eat? You eat a salad and what? So you don't eat meat though. So I'm saying as a meat eater, a piece of fish, some turkey.
Well, I would say if you eat meat, go with the fish.
Okay.
That's about the lightest you go.
Or some turkey.
You know what I mean? And then still, you don't want to eat much because you don't want to eat nothing that's hard for your body to break down.
Okay.
And meat is hard for your body to break down.
Okay. Look, man, I hope y'all tune in tomorrow night for Outlaw Radio. We do Outlaw Radio on Thursdays and Saturdays. And they're always very wild shows. You never know who's going to be on the show. Sometimes my brother here is there, but then it's me and my brother talk to teach, listen, and learn. Shout out to 3041 North, one of my most greatest supporters since I've been doing podcasting. 414-810-3131 is the number you can call if you want to get involved with Mr. Terry. Get on 3041 North's calendar. My brother Dante Chestnut, I got to meet with him because he has an event coming up, and that's DAMGENT, who's also a strong supporter of the show. He writes for the Plug magazine. Just a real good brother. We've done some music festivals with that brother. He's got something coming up, so I got to meet with Dante and see how we can support that. My brother here is doing his podcast called
Talk That Talk.
Okay, and when is it on?
Every Monday, every first and third Monday at 5:30.
Okay, and you can check that out. So the People's Network is doing what it has to do. Stay involved, and I got caught slipping with the phones last week, so I assure y'all I have a very important piece of equipment already on order. That's coming. So the next time somebody want to call in, you'll be able to hear them from here to Chicago. So I'll never get caught slipping twice, right? So I'm going to straighten all that out. So Brother Talk will be here tomorrow night. Brother, what you got to say to the people, just in case you don't step back in the house Saturday night and you don't see them again until next week. What you got to say to the people?
I want to say get healthy.
Okay.
Get healthy. Let's love on each other. You know what I'm saying? And display our peace.
Get the herbs. Get the detox. Get the fibroid liver cleanse. The fibroid buster. Get the vitality capsules. Nature's Nature herbs and supplements. 414-949-2122. We talk about them ad nauseum because my brother's trying to get something going with the people. Like he said, he wants to make you aware that there's a different path, but you have to be consistent and you have to be dedicated to it. You can't eat double whoppers all day and be like, but I take herbs. Now you're probably still gonna have high blood pressure. Right. So support all Black causes you can. If you want to get involved with us, hit me up. I love to cooperate with other Black businesses and people who got something going. If you want to promote it, we can do it here. I will not knock the stuffing out your Egg McMuffin. Until tomorrow night, it's your boy, the world-class smartass, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer, saying peace. I hope you get everything you want. But I hope your ass want everything you get. I will see y'all tomorrow night with Outlaw Radio. It's gonna be going down, baby. I got so much shit to talk about tomorrow night and Saturday. It ain't gonna make no sense. Y'all just gotta watch the show, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit like, hit share, hit follow, share the live. Peace out.